Well, hello and good morning, folks. It is Darren Eldridge, the Dark Geek. It is Sunday morning, the 30th of March. Got the coffee. Already had to go to work and do a few things. Been a busy March and a long night last week. Thank you, everyone that came out to the Saturday Night Dart Challenge and had us out there hanging out. We appreciate you very much. Thank you to the Moose, Holly Sheridan. You are awesome. Well done. Everyone down there is volunteers, so a great night was had. And we're going to see, hopefully we can keep doing that on a regular basis. We'll see what happens. So, good morning, and this is the Dark Geek Zone. I am Darren Eldridge, the Dark Geek, and welcome and thank you so much. If you happen to watch us live, please give us a share. Even if you're just watching us recorded, please give us a share. Give us a subscribe. It's all down there, and you can just check it out and click all those little things, and we greatly appreciate you. So we're going to jump right into March and darts on Cape Cod. As I said last night, we had the DGZ Saturday Night Dart Challenge in March. And so we want to actually start things off. We did lose a dart player, Mr. Stephen O'Rourke, and we did a little toast and remembrance of him. So Steve O, we know you're up there, and now you and Sav can get together and wait for the rest of us to show up and play on that dart. So please keep his family and him and all the friends in your thoughts. And we hate to lose folk, but it does happen, and God bless. And also last night we were not able to get Tammy Kelly. Gin and Tonic could not make it, and Ginny's mom is a little under the weather, and so they are taking care of her. And we don't need to get into a lot of it, but they were unable to come. And Ginny, you are in our hearts and prayers as well. Please think of her mom, and if you do, send up a prayer. So a somber way to start, but that is life, and those are people we love and we miss. So keep them in your thoughts. So on to the action that was. So as I said, we had the 301 ladies. Our champion was Jillian Richmond, and she was the champion over Rachel Emery. And we only had a few ladies, but we thank you for showing up. We want to keep this going. It was suggested perhaps next time we could do this double for the ladies if we are in the single digits or right in those early double digits. So we heard you, and that is going to be our goal next time. So ladies, we want you to come back out and see if we can't offer, if we only get the few again, we're going to try that double elimination and make sure you girls are getting the best bang for your buck and getting the opportunity to play and have a great time. So the highest average of the night belonged to Aria Robbins, 29-21. This was a 301 double in, double out. So Aria had the highest average, and again, Jillian Richmond, our champion. We're going to have the pictures and everything else up in a little while, but Dark Geek actually had to go to work this morning and then get back here, so lots going on. In the men's 301, we did have the bounty in effect. Shane was in the house and defending, Shane Hackala, but he was tossed out of the tournament by Chuck Gregory. Chuck came down with a whole bunch of his buddies. Shane came down with a whole bunch of his buddies. We had quite the little eclectic mix of Cape and off-Cape folks. It was an amazing night. But Chuck did take him out. But in the end, it was Lee Baker. LL Lee, thank you very much. Lee kept that title back on this side of the bridge and onto Cape Cod. And he took out Tim Feeney in the finals. And again, we're going to have some pictures up there for you. And then after those 301s, we hosted a luck of the draw that kicked off at 8 p.m. So our champions there were the aforementioned Mr. Lee Baker and Chuck Gregory. Chuck bringing them all down from the Liberal Club, and So they all teamed up, and he and Lee went all the way to the final. So Lee double dipped, 2 pictures with the big check. So good for him. The 50-50 was won by Mr. Steve Clark. Thank you all very, very much. Steve went home with the cash, and because it's a DGZ event, when we do our 50-50s, there's a couple extra prizes. We had a couple of tune-up kits from the fabulous Mac Darts, MacDartsSupply.com. Check them out. Matt and Chris up there are amazing. Those were won by the DGZ squad member, Meat on a roll, winning some of these raffles. And he does go to the bar, just get somebody to pull him, so there ain't no cheating going on. But so Meat got that, and Christian Burrows won the other one. The big man took that prize home. So we had 57 total entries on the night. That was amazing for a Saturday night in March as we make our push. So we're going to go away with that now. That is done, and we're going to move on, boom, to our Cape Cod Dart League. So the Cape Cod Dart League is chucking right along. We're getting ready to enter our final third of our season, and things are starting to straighten out. We're going to start with AA. You can see right on the screen now, these are the current standings. So last time we left you, we had just finished up week 3. So week 4 was on the 26th, and the Stallions took on FUPA. The Stallions play out of the Lanyard, and they came out on top 7-5 on week 4. And Matty B had a sweet 19 dart leg in his singles over D-Watt in the third leg. That's the final deciding set, and that's when you want that big leg. And that was the highlight of the leg of that night as they came out 7-5, taking on FUPA, who was trying to make it back to the finals. The Dart Sharks took on the Warriors, and the Dart Sharks won 10-2. Ed the Plumber and Ryan Hathaway got it rolling with a first match win, but they couldn't manage another one till set 5 when John Swan 5 was able to take out Thomas McGilvery in the third leg. But that was all they could manage. The best leg of the night was a 17 darter by Ed the Plumber. Ed the Plumber Kuna with a 17 darter on that night. And then Still Trippin' took on the Assassins. And the Assassins has a little potpourri of players that all put together, but the score line was 11-1. With the Assassins' lone win coming in set number 3 with Kenny Pina and the DGZ multi-time sponsor, one of the best sponsors that we have, Mr. Dan Robillard from Longfellows. So they were the lone win. Best leg of the night in this one was a 17 darter by Mr. Alan Parsons in a third leg decider versus Melanie Boyan. And the legend Dennis Carter, who took his singles versus Dan Robillard, and he actually, just a little highlight of that night, he did a 20 darter followed by a 19 darter. So that was pretty cool and a good night for the legend. Then that moves us right into week 5. This had the Lanyard Stallions versus the Assassins. The Lanyard continued their winning ways with an 8-4 victory. Melanie Boyan going 2-1, holding it down for her team, the Assassins. Best leg of the night was, I think, I got to do a little check-in, and we're going to get Captain Shark, but I think this is the best leg so far that I've seen, and if anyone else knows, feel free to let me know. But Sean Baker Jr., who is our Dart Connect guru from the Cape Cod Dart League Board of Governors, does an amazing job with that and that schedule. So all that stuff you see on there is Shawnee. And he came out with a 14 darter. That's a 107 average. 100, 125, 120, 140 to set up 36 and took it out into damn. So a 107. So that's a that's a standing O. I mean, that's a hell of a leg. So well done there. And with an 8-4 win, Lanyard just starting to get their stuff together and put these things together. And the other one was the Dart Sharks taking on defending champions Still Tripping. And this one went 8-4 in the Dart Sharks' favor. The Sharks took the first 3 501 before they lost in the first cricket. Best leg of the night was Danny Lucas with an 18 darter with a third leg decider. And that's, a little trend we're seeing. It's nice when you can put together that really fabulous third leg to take that decider away. And the Dart Sharks are starting to emerge as a title contender. And you can see right there, they are in the lead. So in this division, I'm going to take a quick peek here and boom, kind of blow some stuff up here. Make sure I can see what you're seeing. So, so then, as we are in week 5, we had FUPA taking on the Warriors. Now, FUPA returned to dominating and took out the Warriors 11-1. The lone win was in the very first set with John Swan 5 and Ed the Plumber. We hear his name a lot. Winning the 501 leg. The best leg on this night with these guys was a 21 darter, which is, we like to see them under a 20 when we're talking about it, but it's still, these guys all play 501 singles, and a lot of these guys, Sean, Mike, that you'll see do play in that DPNE tour, so you can see how important that is to your game, and 501 is the game, and so that's why they have it, AA. So, that wrapped up week 5. Then we move on to week 6. Week 6, the Dart Sharks took on the Lanyard Stallions. This was the close match of the week at 8-4 with a Dart Shark win. The Sharks took the first 6 sets and a 6-0 lead into singles. And then the CCDL co-commissioner, the Chainsaw here on the Cape, James Chase, broke their streak in set 1. And then the Stallions took 4 out of 6 singles. So, again, great way to close up that night. They came on strong at the end. And the best leg of the night was a 22 darter on this night, and that was done by Jason Pillsbury, taking out the big man Christian Burrows in their singles. FUPA took on Assassins and ended up 11-1. The Assassins' lone win came in the 7th overall set and was won by, get ready for this, old-timers, Scott Amirault. Scott Amirault took that and gave the Assassins their win on the night. Best leg on this night was a 23 darter. The 23 darter was shared by Greg Bishop and Royal Family Patriarch, Big Sexy himself, Mike McGuire. The final match on this night on week 6 pitted Still Trippin' versus the Warriors. The Warriors are the newest team and finding their balance, so to speak. We saw Triple T last night in there. He and Melissa Kotick, Miss Licatis, Salon 17. I know the hair's not looking completely colored right now, but come April at the Doubles Throwdown, Kotick's going to put this in shape. Salon 17 up there in Dennisport. Check them out. So on this night, the Warriors would get their on FUPA and Assassins. We are on week 6, not week 7. So they ended up 11-1. The Assassins' lone win came in the 7th overall set by Scott Amirault. Best start 23 with Greg and Mike, who both play on FUPA. So FUPA had both of those. Then we had Still Trippin' and the Warriors. That final was 11-1. The lone win was Christopher Matheson in his singles 5-0 win over Dave Moyer. And Chris has had a couple of those, so well done, Mr. Matheson. Kind of holding your own there in the world of AA on Cape Cod. Best leg was a 21 darter here by the legend himself, Mr. Dennis Cotto. Week 7 saw FUPA and the Dart Sharks trading points through the first sets. They went into singles 3-3. Here the Sharks only came away with 2 wins, with FUPA sweeping the last 4 singles. Again, we've talked about coming on strong at the end. Best leg of the 501 on this week was a 16 darter. Done by who else? Big Sexy, Mike McGuire, 16er. So that 14 darter, again, I got to go back to the beginning because I didn't Don't remember that far back, but the 14 darter is looking really, really nice. But that 16 darter was great. Well done, Michael. This is week 7. So the Warriors versus Assassins. On this night, the Warriors would get their first win. Congratulations. It took them a little while, but it was an 8-4 win over the Assassins, taking 2 of each of the doubles and then 4 of the singles. They are starting to find their little double-A way, and it's nice to see a win coming in there. And the best leg of the night, 22 darter, Ed the Plumber. Ed the Plumber, Kuna. You are amazing. We put the notes over here. It's our handy dandy notebook. So that is Link Gosling has taught us that in part of his stand-up. He always has his handy dandy notebook. So now we're going to continue on week 7 here, and this was Still Trippin' taking on the Lanyard Stallions. These 2 teams have been going at it for several seasons, actually several years now, if you really want to look at it. And the defending champs continued their run for back-to-back titles with a 9-3 win on this night. The Stallions would not get their first point till singles number 2, when again it was Cape Cod's co-commissioner Jimmy Chainsaw taking out Dan the Man Lucas 2 straight legs and got him their point. The Fabulous Bakers, Matty B and Sean Baker, would add in their last 2 points, taking the last 2 singles of the night, and that was going to get them their 3 points. Best leg on this night was Big Al, Alan Parsons, with a 19 darter. Then we move on to week 8, which is going to put us right in what you see here. Last season's final again played out with FUPA taking on Still Trippin'. And FUPA would continue their winning streak that they've been on with a 7-5 win. The best leg of the night this night was a FUPA, and it was Filthy Fred Conley with a 16 darter. Well done, Fred. Well done. The Dart Sharks took on the Assassins, and the Dart Sharks, coming off a loss, wanted to bounce back, and they did in a big way. 12-zip. So they got 12 points. And rolled through this night with the best leg by Mike Leary. Mike Leary had the best leg with a 21 darter. And then wrapping up week 8, we had the Lanyard Stallions taking on the Warriors. And the Warriors, still trying to find their way, coming off their win, fell 8-4. But the best leg of this night was a 19 darter done by Triple T, Trash Talking Tommy Tomplant. So, well done. So, as you can see, the Dart Sharks right now, they are sitting atop the division as we get ready for the push. Our top 4 are all filled with the ability. The Warriors and Assassins are kind of finding their way. We'll see what happens. We are on the push here to finish up, move on to the summer. So, right now, that is where we're at. So here's what we do now is we go on. I'm going to do a little interaction here. And, oh, maybe we're not going to do a little interaction here. Well, we have a little technical difficulty. I wonder what my technical difficulties are. Oh, I know what they are. Ha! I got it. If you click on the correct one and then you click interact, then you can move right on to A East. Ha! There are times when I am so cool. Too cool for school. Let's go up here so I can see what you see. Hey, there we are. There's A East. So in week 4 in A East, we had FMA taking on Plan B. This night will belong to FMA 8-4. 8-4 victory, sweeping the opening 3 doubles. A Division placed 401 in their singles. The best leg on this night was a 21 darter by Wilson Tannen, Eric Wolf, Eldridge, and Old Tom, Tommy Ryan. And then we had Clubbers versus the Fireballs 10-2 to the Clubbers. Clubbers took the first 6 before Rooter Ryan Hazel was able to take out Bobby Mack. The other fireball win was CCDL statistician extraordinaire Mr. Jeffrey Parker. Best leg of the night, 17 darts by Scott Rasmussen, unfortunately in a losing leg to Joe Linnell. And on this night, Riptides had the much needed bye. We were struggling. Week 5 had Plan B taken on the Clubbers. This match was a little tight. The teams traded blows till Plan B came through and claimed their last 3 singles for a 7-5 victory. Best leg was an 18-darter hit by John Harvey in a loss. Also hit by another Board of Governor member, Mr. Jeremy Curran. He was able to win his leg, and his best leg was an 18-darter as well. Riptides, coming off a bye, took on the Fireballs, and they were there without the Dark Geek, so that worked out quite well for them as they started a little streak. 9-3 win. Best starter was the 17 leg by Mr. John Monahan, and for those old school folks like myself, you may remember his dad, who played out of the Elks a long, long time ago, Mr. Jay Monahan, enjoying that Florida weather right now. If you check this out, Jay, what up? How you doing? You should come visit us. So, FMA had the bye on this week. Then week 6, FMA and Fireballs, taking the previous week off, didn't hurt FMA as they returned and put a 9-3 hammer in on the Fireballs. Best leg again, 18 darters, Scott Rasmussen. And we also want to put a shout out to Wolf, aka Eric Eldridge, had a round of 9 in a win. So that was pretty good. Then we had Riptides taking on the Clubbers. This was a return. We had gotten our butts kicked earlier, and this was a different result with a 9-3 win. And the best leg in the singles was Rail Paul McCluskey with a 17-darter in the deciding leg, taking, yours truly, took me out. Great leg, too. And Rail shot great. So Paul McCluskey, a.k.a. Rail, well done. Plan B had the bye that week, so they were idle. Week 7, Plan B took on the Fireballs, and they came off their bye strong, taking the win 8-4. Again, the best leg of that night was Scott Rasmussen again with a 19-darter. The Riptides took on FMA, and the Riptides had a lot of payback because a lot of losing going on. But they continued their winning streak and came away with a 7-5 winner. We did introduce Rob Calamaria, who came back to the Dart League now and has joined Riptides. So thank you, Rob. And he's a great addition to the team. So the best leg of this night belonged to John Monahan again with a 16-darter. In A, we play 401. It is single in, double out. It is 401, and John Monahan with a 16-darter. Week 8 had FMA taking on the Clubbers. With the Clubbers off their bye and FMA wanting to bounce back, this ended up in a 6-6 tie. The best leg on this night was Jim Reynolds with an 18-darter. And then Riptides took on Plan B. This happened at the Brewster VFW. The Geek had to work real late. We've had one hell of a week. It's been crazy for Miss Jen and myself. But you have those at springtime. So, but I did drop in to say hi. And again, Riptides does great when I don't show up. Might be a trend. But it was a 9-3 win, and the best leg again in singles was Mr. John Monahan. So, and Fireballs had the bye. So let's see if I can do this transition correct. And we're going to click this, and then we're going to click interact, and whoop, there. It's amazing how well that works when you do the right things. Big fan, big fan. So now we're going to just here we go. Now we are chuckling onto the A West, and let's see how they are doing. Oh, a little sip of that coffee. That Dark Geek mug. Could get you one. Could get you one. You see these fabulous shirts, TJD. they're actually making some championship stuff for us. So stay tuned for that. So back to the A West. And we started off week 4 with Nun 80 versus Shenanigans. The week of ties in the A West, 6-6 with Nun 80 and Shenanigans. Week 4, best leg was a deciding leg in the 5th by Eric Eldridge with a 15-darter. It gave his team 6 points, but Jeff Franklin ruined the night for Shenanigans with a last set win to preserve that tie. And beautiful 15-darter, well done by Eric there. Headlocks, Armed and Hammered took on the Ace Holes. Tie number 2, trading blows in the night. It was the Ace Holes ace Dave Kasherik who won the last match to tie it up. He had the high out at 108, and the trifecta, he had the best singles too with a 21-darter. Well done, Dave. Dave is old school too. You know, some of the old timers, they're still hanging around. IAC had the bye. Week 5 would have IAC taking on the Ace Holes. The bye did not do any favors for IAC as they fell 8-4 to the Ace Holes. A sweep of the doubles, 501, propelled Ace Holes. But Jeff Gruenstein came through with a 2-dart 81 to give IAC their 4th point. Best leg was 22 darts, and this was done by Mr. Paul Leno. Well done, Paul. In a win over another veteran, Billy Boof. What up, Billy? And then week 5 saw the Shenanigans and Headlocks, Armed and Hammered take on. These two kept the tie train a-rolling, and it was another 6-6. At 6-3 with 3 to play, Headlocks was looking good, but Shenanigans pulled it together and won the last 3 to make the tie, again finishing strong. Best leg of the night was another Eldridge, Eric Eldridge, with a 22-darter on his way to securing the tie in the last match of the evening. Nun 80 had the bye. That moved us on to week 6 with IAC taking on Shenanigans. Anyone want to guess the score? Yep, 6-6. They just traded wins all the way down. A strong finish for IAC. Sean Forbes and Brian Albee won the last 2 matches again, salvaging that tie. And then best leg was again Eric Eldridge. We're seeing this name a lot over here in the West. Eric Eldridge came in with a 17-darter to take out Jeff Gruenstern. And those of you who have played Jeff know that that man can play some dots. So well done, Eric, again. Nun 80 took on Headlocks, Armed and Hammered, and no tie here. This was a definitive Nun 80 win at 8-4. All tied up at 4-4. Nun 80 put their foot on the accelerator and took the last 4 matches, each in 2 legs. Just took them straight. Best leg was shared by Todd the Mouth Moose and Sean Ducott at 20 darts as they cleaned up the evening, winning those last 2 matches. Ace Holes had the bye there. Week 7, Ace Holes versus Nun 80. On this night, the bye did not help Ace Holes at all. They went down 7-5. Best leg of the night was done by Mr. Alan Furman with a 22-darter, and Nun 80 continued their winning ways. Next matchup was Headlocks, Armed and Hammered taking on IAC. And a tough night for IAC, dropping the first 4 matches and ending 8-4. Best leg was a young lady who was in the finals last night in the 301 ladies. Rachel Emery with a 16-darter. Well done, Miss Rachel. Shenanigans had the bye on this night. And then week 8 to finish us up. You'll see where they are at now. Not everybody caught up, but they will be. Had Shenanigans taking on Ace Holes. After their bye, Shenanigans were able to secure a 7-5 win. Brian Albee, best starter. Best start of the night, 22-darter in that. Nun 80 versus IAC. 980 continued their winning ways with a 7-5 victory. The best leg there, again, Mr. Alan Furman. This 16-darter right there. Again, 401, single in, double out. That's what we play. And that right there takes care of A. And you can see where we're at. So, always hard to tell when you have buys, but you got 10 teams, so 2 groups of 5. And that's how we work that particular one out. We're going to interact now. We're kind of rolling. And here we are. This is our final group. Here on the Cape, we have AA, we have A, East and West, and we have our B division. Time for a little coffee right y'all. Alrighty, Roo. So week 4 on February 26th saw Bulls on Parade versus It Is What It Is. The win went to the Bulls 8-4. Bulls took the first 2 doubles in each 5-0 and cricket and 4 singles to complete their win. The division, they play 301, single in, double out, just to give everybody. And the best darter was a 20-dart leg, Paula Ramos, in a straight 2-leg win in her singles. Well done to Paulette. The next match saw Dart Zombies versus Dave Wood's team. Rest in peace, Mr. Wood, D Money. The Zombies got this one 10-2, and D Wood took match number 1, and then only the first singles for their 2. The best leg in 301 singles was Miss Sue Eldridge. Sue Eldridge had a 13 data, first leg in 301. And then took hers 2 straight for the Zombies win. So, then we had Afino versus Dillygaff. And the L was taken by Dillygaff as they fell 5-7 to Alafino. 2 doubles, 501, 2 cricket wins set up Alafino with. And Sue the Pink Widow and CCDL co-commissioner Tim Meat Reynolds, the only winning doubles. A strong singles was needed but not attained. Da Beef, Tim Rutherford pulled out a last match for point number 5. Best singles of the night, Mr. Corey Jordan with a 20 data. That wrapped up week. I think I am missing a week. But my next week says week 6. We'll see if we have it right. Technical difficulties. Elefino versus Dart Zombies. The Zombies never woke up, and Elefino won 8-4, taking the last 3 singles. The best 301 leg on this night was a 13-darter again by Mr. Corey Jordan. This was the last match of the evening and followed a 15-darter by his opponent Joey Eldridge, so well done to those 2. D Wood's team took on Bulls on Parade. D Wood wins 7-5. With the last match determine a win or a tie, Matthew Andrews had the best 301 leg with a 19-darter to secure a 7-5 win. And this is week 5 that we are going through. Then Dillygaff took on It Is What It Is. Needing to bounce back, Dillygaff did pull it together for a 9-3 team win. Again, the top doubles team was our co-commissioner, Tim Meat Reynolds, and the Pink Widow, Sue Belisle. They did their job in 501 and cricket. And this week, Dan Smith and Jackie Miller joined in, and they won their doubles cricket. Unfortunately for It Is, the singles matches were a disaster, and they unfortunately went down 6-0 in those. The best singles went to Dan Smith, who had a 16-darter to wrap up his singles win. Then we go to week 6. Dart Zombies took on Bulls on Parade. Dart Zombies would bounce back and take this one 9-3 to secure their spot atop the division. 2 out of 3 doubles, 501, and a sweep of the cricket set them up. A powerful push through singles, taking 4 or 6. Best singles leg, RJ Rose with a 17-darter to best Will Rogers in their singles. D. Woods took on Dillagaff, and D. Woods' team would prevail 7-5. Dillagaff splitting their dynamic duo of Meeting the Pink Widow would fire back in 5-1 doubles. But payoff in cricket would backfire, not fire back, backfire in the 5-0, but they did come together in cricket. DeBeef came up against Keith Andrews, and Keith would be the victor. Best singles of the night was an 18-darter shot in a winning match as Terry O'Donnell bested the Pink Widow there. Elefino took on It Is What It Is. Elefino passed out another L. It is 8-4. It Is What It Is came out strong, winning the first two doubles 5-0-1, but after that their only wins came in the first two singles. Katie Grenier and Lori Mason, best singles legs would be a 16-darter shot by Seabass Sebastian Capellos in the very last leg of the night. So week 7 is going to bring us right around to the Dart Zombies versus It Is What It Is. Dart Zombies put their foot on the pedal and came away 11-1. That was a big win right there. Best leg was 16 darts. Joy Eldridge, who also lost a leg to 140 darts. That's a long leg. But, hey, takes all kinds, and we can get stuck on the in and on the out. But he did come away with a 16-darter in that set. So Elefino took on D. Wood's team. D. Wood would come out on the losing end, 7-5. The same scoreline they won the previous week. Best leg was a 15-darter by Keith Andrews. Keith Andrews in the finals last night in that LOD. And I also want to say Keith was nice. We were struggling to find that last person. That's why the Geek had to play. And Dennis Furtado drew me. So, but Keith was really nice, and he said, hey, listen, if we're not even, I'll step out. But we never want anyone showing up at any event and not being able to play. So we always have a couple of us sticking around. So I jumped in this time. Meat took the night off, and then he ended up in the finals. So he had the best leg this night. It was a 15-darter. Bulls on Parade took on Dillagaff. Dillagaff again came out on the wrong end, falling 7-5 to the Bulls. Best leg was Russ Hall with an 18-darter. And the Pink Widow, Sue Belisle, just missing. She herself had a 19-darter. And then in week 8, to put us where we're at, D. Wood's team took on It Is What It Is. Coming off a loss really sparked D. Wood's team, and they took the night 11-1. Best leg again, Terry O'Donnell, 19-darter. Elefino took on Bulls on Parade. They kept their winning streak going with a 10-2 victory. Best leg of the night was Russ Hall, 17 data. That's a 2-week in a row for Russ. Well done, Russ. So, and then in the last one, Dart Zombies took on Dillagaff, and Dillagaff kept their streak going with another 7-5 loss to the Zombies. Best leg, Dan Granger, 17-darter. And that puts us right there, right where you see where we're at. So, this is also pretty tight. Top 4 are going to make it. So you can see 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all just struggling. Of course, 1 and 2 will get home matches. So we'll see where we're at. And don't forget, you can always review any of the matches. We play every Wednesday night, so you can always check out any of these matches. And, you know, we love Dart Connect. Everything is always there for every single thing you need. So, what we are going to do now, I think, is we are going to move on real quick. Now, I'm going to get out of here. We're going to hide this. And then we are going to hide that. We're going to hide that. And we're going to undo this right here. And what we're looking at now, folks, this was the banquet that was held at the Brewster VFW. Great job Board of Governors, thank you very much for an amazing night. There are some of the back-to-back A champion warriors who are now playing in Double A. It was held on Saturday, March 15th at the Brewster VFW. This was the last edition of the Ultimate Team Gear Championship shirts. UTG changing what they do now. Charles and Mike and all those guys switching what they're doing up. So thank you for everything you've done. I believe we're moving on to DJD now. We'll see what they come up with. I know Jimmy Chaser did an amazing job with the 40th anniversary shirt and is working with some pictures and stuff. And the BOG should come up with something amazing. So it'll be nice to see what we get for new championship shirts. But thank you, Ultimate Team Gear, Red Eye Rhino. You guys have been awesome for several years. Good Lord. So now they're stepping on. If you're interested in design, check them out. They're offering some nice stuff for people who want to get into that. And it'd be a great opportunity if you wanted to start doing this stuff on your own. So, blah, 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 blah. You know, we have the DJD here shirt. You can get the Cape Cod 40th anniversary shirt, thedjd.com. You can get them personalized, $50, shipped right out to you. So check it out. And you can see here with the banquet, it was a great day of food and a great day of darts. You see Keith and Nick there with their 3rd and 4th place. There are all the awards, and there's right down there. You can see the shirts. And Mike McGuire and Smitty came away in 2nd place, and I know they had just missed each other. There they are, and our champions were Dan Lucas and Wilson. So there's the Fireballs right there. They were our B champions. And Still Trippin', the Double A champions right there, took it away from FUPA. And there they are, a little bit of mix of FMA, Still Trippin', and FUPA in that picture. So well done to the Board of Governors. Well done to all the players that came out. And there is Ed the Plumber and the big cat, Dennis Alker. And there he is, Keith. He's in there a lot. Yeah, I know. He gets a lot of envelopes. So well done to Mr. Keith. You are very, very awesome. So that was a great time. So we're looking forward. We got this season to go and one more banquet. Then we'll take our summer break. So hopefully it will be very, very, very fun. Alrighty, so now I think what we are going to do is we're going to quickly switch over, get rid of this guy, open up this guy, do one of these, and do one of these. And this right here, these are the standings of our Cape Cod Premier League. So you can find this on Dart Connect all the time. This is basically a complete singles league. You can see here that we have, this is our Double A, the top vision, and there he is, the big cat, Dennis Alker, sits right atop it here. So, and then the legend, Mr. Cotto, right there behind him. We also have, this is our A division. There is Scott Rasmussen. He's the defending champion. And he right now is in 1st place and defending his champion. You see, they are about on to week 8, not 100% sure where this is going to get. Then we're going to move down here. This is our B division. You can see we have Kevin Boyan, Jason Pillsbury right there. There's Paula now. You've heard his name with some of the short dart games in their division. Again, all of this can be found on Dart Connect TV. Just search leagues, Cape Cod Premier League. This is the Cape Cod Singles League. So we will move on to C right here. And you can see right there with the C division, Jillian Ritzman. She was our ladies champion last night in the 301. And you can see she is only on week 7 and only a point behind Anthony Offla, who was right there, but has played week 8. So the ladies do mix right in. This is all done by your average. Basic Patrick Paquette runs this league, and it works fabulously. and he does a great job. They are up to 56 players. And then you can see right here, this is another one. There she is, Rachel Emery. Rachel and Jillian were in the finals last night. They battled each other a lot, and you can see Rachel is leading the D division, and she's a week behind. So we have some amazing lady players here. And then the last two are all ladies. And you can see Lori Kinsella here in first place. There's V. Eldridge Arias. She was there last night. She had our high average last night. Melissa Carter's in there, Salon 17. Keeps the Dark Geek looking slick. And there she is, Sue Belisle, the Pink Widow herself. And then the last ladies division, Stephanie Kozar up there on top. She is part of Plan B. And that's followed by Amy Chipman, Captain Extraordinaire from FMA. Julie Thompson, Sam Legier, Linda, Flo, Tracy, and then Holden Strong is Christine Fulcher. She is part of the B Division champion Fireballs. And she has come out, boom, and does a great job as well. So we are getting dangerously close to the hour. I try to keep it down to an hour, mostly because I'm old now and I need a nap. So we are going to move along now into, I want to see what you see. I can see what you see. Here we go. We are rolling through, and these are our events that are coming up. That was the rundown of what we've done. So you saw the banquet, the Cape Cod Dart League banquet. We'll have another one coming up. So you got that. Then we went through our league where we sit now. That's so Cape Cod Dart League on the last push and the Premier League. The DGZ Saturday Night Challenge, and now we're just going to roll into what is coming up. Every Monday night, we have Meet Lovin's Monday Night Luck of the Draw. This is all on Facebook. Go to the Cape Cod Dart League page, go to the little scroll, the little gray things where it says events, and click on. They're all there. So Meet Lovin' is Monday night with a 7 o'clock sign up, 7:30 start. There it is right there. Boom. $10. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, we have CCDL and MMDL. Tuesday night is Minuteman. Wednesday night is Cape Cod. And the Cape Cod Premier League, well, they play every night. Check them out on Facebook, too. You can go in case you want to see and follow them. You can also follow them on DC TV. Everybody loves the Dart Connect. Thursdays, we have the DC Porcelli's Pizza and More. That's a 6:15 to 6:45 sign up. That's a $10 entry. They also throw in gift cards. They put out pizza, and yes, the bar adds to the pot. Just like Meet Lovin's, it's $10 in the bars. Both those bars add to the pot. And they are there every Thursday night. And boom, there it is right there. And Ellie says this is going to run right through the end of the season before they take their summer break. So as long as the Cape Cod Dart League season is going, that Luck of the Draw will be going. On April 18th and 19th, right there, boom, the DGZ Doubles Throwdown. We will be having a Luck of the Draw on that Friday night, and then doubles events all day at the Moose. We're going to throw out some pizza. There'll also be places you can order from. There's not food, but we're going to have DC's Porcelli's. Helps us out with the pizza. Thank you. We love our sponsors. So we'll have some of that and some menus around as well. Now, on May 10th, D Productions, Meet, and myself, the Dark Geek, we have the honor of going up to the Liberal Club on May 10th. And we're going to go ahead and live stream the banquet. This should be coming up pretty soon for Minuteman Dart League. This event is open to anyone, so you don't have to play for Minuteman. There it is. Boom, right there. Anyone can enter this and come on up. Liberal Club is amazing. So you definitely want to check that out. From then, we're going to go to May 14th. Why do we mention May 14th? That's it. The last day of the spring 2025 season for the Cape Cod Dart League. After that, we'll be looking at playoffs, and that'll be all set. You'll see those around, and then keep your eye out for championship night. That'll be following up in a couple weeks after that. Then on May 17th, boom, there it is, the Cape Cod Youth Dart Tournament. All events are free to all the kids 18 and under. If you have any questions or want to know what's going on, please reach out to the Dart League. And you can find them at ccdl.doublecork@comcast.net. And they'll get back to you. If you have any questions, we have trophies, we have prizes, we have food, swag bags. And our swag bags were filled by last season, and so much stuff. We have stuff for this season too by the Bakers. Thank you, Matt, Christine, and Nolan. Wonderful, wonderful job. And Peter, the donator field, thank you. He just about single-handedly financed the whole thing. So, and then the Cape Cod Dart League is very involved in this with using their equipment and coming and helping during the day. So it is a real big, giant community effort. And we can't thank them enough. And you'll be able to watch that, provided all our internet works down there. We'll be live streaming that event as well. So aunts, uncles, grandmas, and grandpas, bumpers, meemaws can all check it out. And we also want to point out, you've seen it pop up here a few times, is that DPNE tour. We have a lot of folks down here. We have the legend Dennis Cotto. We have Sean Baker Jr. D. Watt's been up there. Basic, Patrick Paquette. Captain Shark, I think, has participated in a couple. Michael Parks, Dan the Man Lucas. I am 100% positive I have forgotten. There it is right there. April 13th, the main tour. That's the one in New Hampshire. And there's the entire tour right there. So search that on Facebook as well, and you want to get involved with that. That is our Areas Pro Tour, and then leads us to the CDC. And then I also want to point out, I heard some rumors last night that maybe New England might possibly have something. The CDC may be coming. I don't know. We talk about stuff like that, and we hope. But and hey, Dark Geeks in. So Anthony, Peter, please, anything you can do, that thrills us to no end. So we have pretty much made it through. Hopefully we are done. Obviously, I have to shout out to Tim Meat Reynolds and Dennis the Big Cat Alker. You guys were amazing last night. Holly, you were awesome. And all the players that came down and drove, thank you so much for your Saturday night. I hope you all had fun. Again, we're going to post those results and pictures and a few other things. And we hope you get your kids out in May to that. Please come down to that right there, to our double throwdown. That should be a great day. We'll start it off that Friday night. And continue to check, the Cape Cod Dart League page, the Minuteman page, the Cape Cod Premier League page, all of the dart stuff. There's stuff going on everywhere. And then extra activities. Check the Moose Lodge. Check the VFWs. They're all well and good. And please visit Salon 17, Melissa Cotta. Thank you very much. This doesn't look too bad after a night of sleeping on it. And of course, Mrs. Geek, Jen, thank you for propping it up. Steve Clark, I want to thank you for your little tips on keeping the hawk high. I like that. And so we also want to give a thanks mostly to all the people that came out and played and support these leagues. We all need you. Get your friends out there. And you know how we end here. I'm going to minimize, and then we just want to give a huge shout out and thank you. So do me a favor, be the reason somebody smiles today, please. It'll make you feel good. It's really going to make them feel good. And for just a wee bit of time, our world's a better place. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. And I am the Dark Geek, and it's really, time to say goodbye. Dark Geek out.